Yo, what's up guys, it's your boy Nitrostorm here, welcome back to Revive the Witch. So, finally they've re-released Path Not Taken, and we're fighting against the Mantis sisters for the daily. So we'll get to the weekly another time, because you know, we still have like 5 days, 10 hours before we can't do this anymore. But for daily, after the reset, that's it. So I'll quickly make this a guide of what I would do right with my free-to-play account. So first things first, I realized that they increase physical defense and there's no increase in magical defense, so we're just going to be using magical DPS. Also, we're going to increase the health, I guess reduce all the attack as well, and negate the shield effects and stuff. So we are now at 4.6k. So if the max score is 5.3k, I guess what they said, what the recommended score that you want to get for 35k was this minus 500, I think. So in this case would be 4.8k, but for now we'll do like this with 180 seconds clear and see how far we get. So what team do I use, right? I'm not sure, but we'll clear things up because we do want a magic team. So firstly, we have to use Tonel because it's like your safe pick, safe pick. And we'll quickly give her gear, just basically as much attack as possible, as you can see. Oh, as much attack as possible. And then for our second character, we want a magical DPS. In this case, we're using Maya. As you can see, I built her in the most minimal way possible, which is like this. Up to the attack stats on the second tree to make the second skill level 2, which is what we're going to be using for the most part. Of course, we're going to auto equip her with the big boy gear. Oh, I need to fix that real quick. With the good gear here. Do that. And finally, we'll use, it doesn't really matter which one we use, we'll just do that one. And there we go. I should add that to the preset, of course. So right there and right there. Alright, so this will be her stats, mostly using her S2. Actually, speaking of S2, I should actually switch to free mode auto. Now, max is all out again, and so now for a third character, I think we could survive like this, so we'll leave it like that. And then for our last character, we don't have Amanami, which is kind of feels bad, so we're going to try with Arcana for now, I think. No, let's just do Dorin, right? We'll just do Dorin, our usual thing. And we'll just auto-equip her with the purple gear, I guess. Only needs to survive anyway. And then let's check it out, right? So the first thing we'll do is S1 on Dorin, and then S2 on Maya. Temporary S2 on Dorin, and then during Arcana burst, S2 on Maya, and then S1 on the rest. Occasional S2 on Dorin, and then the rest of the S2s against the enemies. Alright, refresh the crit buff. There we go. So far we're doing pretty decent damage. Of course, when it comes to Path Not Taken, you want to build your characters for as much damage as you can, and crit rate and crit damage are very nice to have, and especially with unique equipment, you can boost those stats further, making your critical stats more straightforward. So as you can see here, we might be in a bit of trouble here, as you can see from the combat time, that we're not actually dealing as much damage as we might have wanted, because we only have a limit of 180 seconds, and so I might need to change things up. But yeah, so normally with Doran, I like switch between S1 and S2 off cooldown, you know, outside of Arcana burst, just to refresh the crit rate and crit damage buffs, but it doesn't seem to be enough for this round. Yeah, so as you can see, we're nearing 180, so I think this is the end of us. So let's say you're in my position, right? You're unable to finish it. So what do you do, right? So in this case, what I would do, so the first thing is to do all of this first. But this time, we only reduce the attack by a little bit, right? So this time we're minus 1000 in terms of the max score, which is, you know, a bit tough, but no, let's do it like this first, right? Let's just see how far we get. And no, 20%, and see how far we can go from there. So same team. Actually, no, in this case, since we're lacking in DPS, we're going to need the extra stats. So what do you do? Well, in our case, we'll bring in a random Mercury element, because we don't have anyone that has a good passive against enemy like Sasivi. So in this case, we'll do it like this. And to make this work, essentially, we wait a little bit before we auto, and then once she's gone, you do your S1, S2 like usual, and then there we go, a little bit of S2 on Doran there. Just refreshing it once in a while, and then bringing it back to Maya S2 for the rest of it. So if we see that attack buff and crit damage buff is gone, we just refresh it again one more time, just in time for the Arcana burst, and then keeping it going as we go along. Refresh, back to Maya. Right, back here, refresh again. Alright, so as you can see, we basically finished it in under 90 seconds. So this is now a different thing for us. You know, it's kind of big in a sense. So since we finished it in 76 seconds, what does this tell you? So if I were to reset everything, you know, bring it back to what I had before I started, but then bring it to 90 seconds, as you can see, my score is now 4.4k. From our 4.6k, that's only a 200 score difference. So as you can see, we went from not being able to do 4.6k to being able to do 4.4k. So the next thing that you would do is how would you improve this further? Well, the only way for us to improve further is to increase it like this. This is like a second way of trying to get 4.6k. Either max everything 180 or 90 seconds with one not maxed. So in this case, we'll try it like this with the same team comp, of course, and then we'll see where this takes us. So leave auto until she's defeated, and then get started with Doran and Maya. So our usual stuff here, dealing the damage with the occasional Doran S2 when we see the buff disappearing. There we go, keep things up. Alright, so far so good. I think we are in good position to get that dub. Make sure I refresh the Doran S2 for the crit damage buff, very important right now. Alright, now we're back on the burst. And there we go. So as you can see now, we managed to do the under 90 seconds with the added on time. And from here on, this is where things might start to become difficult when you're missing certain characters like I am. Because from this point on, we would reduce it by 80%. But as you saw previously, we weren't able to do this. We weren't able to clear it on the 180 seconds. So what's the point of trying that when we know that we can't do that? So this is essentially my limit when it comes to this day, when it comes to this comp. And the essence of this video is essentially how to tackle, challenging things with a limit to your roster. So in my case, I used Maya and Doran, who are both, SSR. Doran was an event character, but free to play. So outside of Tonel, the other two are basically free to play, easier to get. But yeah, so the last part of the video, since I'm done with the daily, that's the maximum I can get for my comp. If we go to the clear record, we can see what the others have. If we go to rankings list, we can see what the others have used. So for the most part, if we scroll down, it's basically Ella, Amanami, and Maya Huo. Now the reason why it's always this comp is because of Amanami's recent unique equipment. So we'll just pick a random guy for now. This is the unique equipment. So I can't really show it here, but what it does, right? If we go to summon unique equipment and rules, what that does is when Seiga Gaiha is in effect, this is the second skill, her charge skill, deals magic damage equal to a certain percentage of the target's current HP. And now we all know about Path Not Taken is that the enemy has a ton of HP, especially with the health modifiers, and so the damage that Amanami would be doing would be considerably higher. Hence why they've used her to get the under 30 seconds thing to get the 5.1k points, but maximum is 5.3k, so keep that in mind. So there's something that's limiting them at the moment. Alright, so hopefully you guys found this video kind of useful in terms of how to tackle Path Not Taken. This was day 1 of Path Not Taken of the month of March 2022. Hopefully I wasn't too late in uploading this, and hopefully you guys found it useful. It's been your boy Nitrostorm. I'll see you guys in the next stream or video. Peace.